Hello. Hi everyone. This is as good as I can do in the new house. I'm in a new place, so welcome. I've got faster internet here, which is nice, so we shouldn't have any problems with the stream. The Perfume studio is a little bit narrow, so I can't get the camera in a good position where you can see me and the table at the same time. So best I can do, but you can see everything, so that's nice. Hopefully it's cool. So hello and welcome. And today we're blending a perfume for the winner of the Bespoke giveaway. Apologies, I wanted to do it a little bit sooner than this, but life is a little bit chaotic at the moment. I had the living room floor ripped up, or I ripped up the living room floor, and I had a carpet laid, and then the kitchen got redone with a new floor, and the bathroom got a new floor. So just a lot of things going on where, this took a little bit of a back seat for a couple of weeks. But here we are, ready to go. So I did pick a winner. The winner of the Bespoke giveaway is this idea. Hopefully you can all hear me okay. So this is the winner that I decided to work on. And so he did provide a YouTube video, which has since been made private, because I was going to actually play it for you, but it's I can't now because whoever did it privated it. But essentially it was like an image of imagine more of a cottagey kind of log cabin kind of vibe with a stone fireplace with a log burning fire and the fire's burning, and some nice old-fashioned sofas, and there's like a old kind of antique wood tables and a little glass of cognac and some little slices of like fruitcake and biscuits and things like that, and the fire's crackling away, and it's that kind of vibe. So yeah, imagine leather sofas, a glass of cognac, maybe a cigar, some Christmas cake and biscuits and things, and you got yeah. So that's the idea that we're going for. So we've got, the notes are old books, so think in terms of like leather bound books, old paper smell, pipe tobacco, smoke, woods, cognac, leather, a combination of spices, ambers and musk. So that's what we're going to be doing today, or this evening. I'm just reading the comments. Do you make fragrance by fragrance or essential oil? I'm not sure what your question means. Do you use essential oil or fragrance oils? I don't use the term fragrance oil. Is very it can mean different things, but no. Yeah, I use essential oils. I use absolutes. Sometimes I use tinctures. I make my own tinctures. This is a tincture of ambergris, 3% ambergris. That's white ambergris. You can see it at the bottom there, look. That's been aging since August of 2024. You give it a shake, you can see it all. No, you can't see it because it's all mixed in the alcohol, but yeah, you give it a shake every now and again. And I use synthetic aroma chemicals. So a combination of synthetics, essential oils, absolutes, tinctures, CO2 extracts. So yeah, there you go. This one, I'm not actually going to write it down. I'm just going to blend it free-spirited, because it's a one-off fragrance. It's not going to be kind of recreated, so to speak. So usually I'd write everything down. I'd put the weights down. I'd write it in a book. But for this, I want it to be a bit more spontaneous. So I'm not worried about, copying it again, so to speak. So I am going to free roll it, I think. Yes. Although to be fair, doing it that way doesn't make the concentration exact. Oh, now I'm in a quandary. Yeah, if I want the exact concentration, I should write it down. I kind of like the idea of doing it more free-spirited though. Oh, now I'm not sure what to do. Let me think. I have made enough that I know roughly by eyeballing it what kind of... Yeah, let's just do it free-spirited. Again, this isn't a commercial perfume. I'm not selling it. I'm not recreating it. It's a one-off fragrance. So, yeah, we're going to be more spontaneous today. Don't do this at home if this is not a good... What's the word? This is not a good teaching method. I'm just, you know, I'm doing my own thing here. So I'm just starting with a little bit of 10 milliliters of Perfumer's alcohol in the beaker just to get things going. And we're going to start with the amber note. So I've already done my labdanum here. Should we put some music on? Do I have any saved? Let me just check my... Yeah, we do. Okay. I think... Oh, is it not connected? Oh, that's a shame. Oh. Oh, there we go. Can you guys hear some kind of ambient guitar music? Hopefully. Right. Let's go. Okay, so this is labdanum. Labdanum is kind of tricky to work with, so I dilute mine. So this is already diluted. Okay. I'm gonna give that a little swirl. You can see the colour. That's the labdanum. Okay. I had a little bit of benzoin too. The normal kind of everyday man's amber accord is just labdanum. God, I can't say that word today. And vanillin. I'm going to put a little bit of benzoin in with the labdanum. Okay. Again, I'm not doing weight today. This is a one-off fragrance that I'm not going to recreate. I'm just eyeballing and using my nose. And I got, you know, a general idea from doing this for the last several years that I can kind of get away with it that way. It's easier for a live stream if I'm not constantly writing notes and everything. Okay. So I'm going to balance this with a little bit of vanillin. So with the vanillin, I just use a paper scent strip and use it as a little scoop, because vanillin is like a crystalline powder. And obviously you add as much as you... It depends how sweet you like your amber accord, really. Some people like a more sweet amber, some people prefer it a little bit more resinous and less sweet. I'm going to add a reasonable amount to this. I'm going to stop there and give it a mix and give it a smell. So this is the pipette with the alcohol in, so I'm just going to swirl that around. And that just dissolves the vanillin into the labdanum and the benzoin. And we get a very basic amber accord. I'm going to actually put a little tonka in there as well as vanillin. So he wanted this kind of biscuity, cakey kind of a vibe, going by the video he sent me with the image, which I'm guessing, you know, when you think of those spices, it's because of all the kind of Christmassy, cakey biscuits. Okay, so that's not overly sweet. Ooh, my stomach just went... Was that my stomach or my throat? That was weird. Sorry if you heard my stomach squeak. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of tonka. Okay, I'm going to stop there and just give it another swirl. I am relying fully on my sniffer for this, so we're just going to slowly add things as we go, and I'm going to just keep smelling. That's not bad. I'm going to approach this one in two different ways. I'm going to make the paper book accord separately in this beaker here, and get it right in there, and then transfer it into the main one and get the balance right after the accord is done in there. So kind of slightly different way of doing it. I'm not going to add too much more sweetness to the base of the amber because we're going to be doing a more sweeter accord next, which is going to be the kind of the biscuity kind of Christmas cake kind of vibe, which is going to be layered into the amber. So that's going to be obviously add some sweetness there. Okay, let me just get my... Sorry, I'm juggling my my laptop stuff. Okay, so he does want a little bit of musk in here. If anyone's watching that hasn't seen the inspiration we're going for, that's what we're doing. I am going to add a little bit of muscone, which is... Maybe should we go a little bit more of a darker musk? Yeah, I think maybe a slightly... Yeah, I'm going to use that instead. Okay, we're going to use a musk called Tonquit... I don't know how to pronounce it. Tonquitone. It's more of a deer musk. Imagine Kiehl's original musk, and you'll get a good vibe of how this smells. That's the musk we're going to use just a little bit with the amber. Okay, I think that's probably enough. Okay, let me give this a swill. I'm not imagining this as particularly musky, to be honest. I think it's just going to be more light. It's going to be more of an ambery, woody fragrance, this one. Okay. Now, I think what I'm going to do next is add the woods. So we've got what I would like as a combination of woods. I want to use oak wood, if I can find where I put the oak. Here we go. This is oak. We're going to start with oak. I think I'll probably add a little bit of cedar as well, which is here. Let me just smell the cedar again. Yeah, I'm going to do a combination of cedar and oak wood. Oak wood is particularly interesting. Very unique as a wood. It's very smooth and dark. It's a lovely profile. I guess you can think of like oak barrels. You can see the colour there of the oak. This is a CO2 extract. Very dark, very nice. Okay, so I'm going to go in with the woods now. The only trouble with the oak is that it can make the perfumes a little cloudy, so I might have to filter this when it's done. But that's fine, it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make because the smell is great. Okay. I'm going to give that a swirl and see how strong that is in comparison to the amber. So you want to do little rabbit sniffs. You don't want to overwhelm your nose. You just do little... Oh, you can't see, sorry. You just want to do small little sniffs so you don't burn out your nostrils. So that can definitely take more. If you guys want to chat in the comments, feel free. I see that no one's really talking at the moment. Okay, I'm going to stop there and we're going to give it a swirl, and then I'm going to smell it again. So I just want to get a balance where I can smell both the oak and the amber together, because before I could just, the amber was overpowering. Okay, I can smell both. The oak is lovely, I really like it, it's one of my favourite woods. I think I'm going to add a little bit more. I want the oak to be perceivable even more than that. Like I'm getting the amber, I'm getting a little bit of the oak, but I'd like it more woody, so we're going to add more. Okay, we're going to stop there and we're going to try again. And then I'm going to try and balance just a little bit of some other woods as well, just to round the profile off rather than relying 100% on the oak. Ooh, that's nice. I can smell it. Okay, let's get a fresh paper strip. Sorry, I guess you don't need to see me, but this room is quite small, so... Okay, so we started off with a nice amber base, not too sweet. Now we're trying to blend the woods. I think that's good so far. I'm going to add cedar now. So that was the oak wood. So we've got oak. I'm going to add a little bit of cedar. This is cedar from Morocco. Moroccan cedar. I missed it. Is this a CO? Yes, it's the oak is CO2. Congratulations to the winner. So I couldn't participate. Mainland European. Yeah, sorry about that. Europe is tricky now after Brexit. Okay, we're going in with a little bit of cedar, but I want the oak to be the stronger of the... Hold on. Sorry, I have to be quiet while I concentrate a little bit. Okay, we're going to stop there. I'm just going to smell it. The cedarwood is actually stronger oil than the oak, so you don't need as much, and I don't want it to be, you know, it's more a light touch compared to the oak. I'm going to give that another sniff. If you just tuned in, obviously usually you would put your scale on and write everything down. I'm doing this more spontaneously, where we are going for it. I'm not going to be recreating it, I'm not going to be selling it, it's just a one-off gift to a subscriber. And so, yeah, it's easier for a live stream to do it more spontaneously rather than stopping and writing and, you know. Anyway, this is where we're at. Let me check the comments again. Good evening from Germany. Good evening. I actually don't know how to speak German. I was going to say good evening in Germany, but in German. But I don't know how to do it. Apologies. Yes, the profile's like, yeah, it's basically as Atlas cedar in terms of the smell is that more milky, smooth kind of smell. Okay, I'm thinking of using a little bit of... Okay, so we've got amber, we've got oak and cedar, and we've got a little bit of musk. I think I'm going to use a synthetic wood, and this is an oud, and it's called Oud Olifak by IFF. I just feel like it'll give it a little pizzazz with the not too much, just I think it'll just work with the oak and the cedar, just a little bit of it. because it doesn't. It's not. It's a synthetic oud, so it doesn't smell like. I mean, it's not. It's definitely not a replacement for real oud. So, but it does have a nice, smooth, woody aspect, which is quite pleasant. So, and it's reasonably long lasting. I think in my brain it'll just smooth out the woods just a little bit. I'm only adding a touch of it. Okay. Yeah, we go. Okay, I'm gonna get through a bit of paper here, but we're just smelling it as we go. Guten Abend. Is that correct? Guten Abend? Guten Abend. The accent comes free, don't you know? I can speak a little Tamil, because I still live half the year in India. Vanakkam is hello in Tamil, for anyone curious. To be fair, I can only say 2 words, despite living there for half the year. I'm very not good with languages. It doesn't sink into my brain well. I don't retain the words. So I know Vanakkam and Nandri. Vanakkam is hello, Nandri is thank you. So I can say hi and thanks. That's it. I think Romba Nandri is thank you very much, I think. But that's about the extent of my Tamil. How about Isui Super? No, we're not adding Isui Super to this, I'm afraid. Okay, let me check back the... Okay, let me think a second. So we've introduced some woods. We've got the amber and the musk. The leather might be tricky because it's getting the balance, because leather can overtake a fragrance real easy. You got to be super careful with leather. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use 2 different kinds of things. I've got some real castoreum, which I'm going to use a little bit of castoreum, which is I would describe real castoreum as like a slightly smoky leather, because he's written smoky woods. So I'm going to use 2 things for the smoke. I'm going to use the castoreum, which is again a little bit of a smoky leather, and I'm going to use a material called a rum ether. And rum ether does not smell like rum, the alcohol. It smells like liquid smoke, essentially. Imagine like a rum oak barrel or something that's on fire. It's smoky. So that's going to introduce the smoke. So we're going to do a little bit of... I think we're going to do the leather next. Okay. So the idea I'm thinking of is leather-bound books and maybe Chesterfield sofas, for anyone familiar with a Chesterfield. I don't know if the Americans are all that familiar with Chesterfields, but in England they're like a very classic leather sofa. So that's a little bit of castoreum. I'm a bit worried about adding too much of it because, like I say, it can easily ruin a formula if you add too much. So we're doing a nuance. I'm going to balance that with a synthetic leather, which is here. This one is called Queer 17500. Okay, and I'm going to stop there because, again, leather's very strong. And interesting, like the longer you leave leather in a formula, the bigger it gets somehow. It seems to get more strong with age somehow. I've not quite figured out why, but it seems to. So if we're thinking Chesterfield sofas and leather-bound books, it's more of a nuance in the air rather than a dominant note. This is smelling good. I'm liking this. It's not really got much sweetness at the moment, which is going to change in the next stage. Okay, I'm I can get hints of that lab denim. I can get hints of that castoreum. The leather's there, but it's not like, you know, killing me in a slap in the face, which is good. Again, it's super easy to go overboard with that. Okay, I'm happy with the amount of leather. We're going to go in now. I'm just trying to organise it in my brain of how to approach it in stages. I think we're going to go with the tobacco next, and then the smoke. That's how we're going to do it. So I'm using two things. I'm using a tobacco absolute. And then we're going to use a material called, I don't know how to pronounce it, but I think it's Ocomal, which is like an ambery tobacco synthetic. And I'm going to blend it with the real tobacco absolute. Okay, I want the tobacco to be, you know, reasonably perceivable. So, but we'll do it slowly in stages so we don't overpower it. How's everyone doing? Are we all good? We're very close to Christmas. Very close. After New Year's, I am heading back to India, for anyone that doesn't know. On January 6th, I fly back to India. And I will be back in May 1st. That is perfect pronunciation. Oh, very good. Guten Abend. Guten Abend. Guten Abend. Guten Abend. Trying to do the accent. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit more tobacco. Okay, and we're going to stop there. We're going to get a little swirly swirl. Little swirly swirl. And then a new paper test strip. And I'm going to stop for a little drink of water in a momento. Okay. Hello. Has the music stopped? Okay, let's... If the music's too loud, let me know and I'll turn it down. Okay, I can smell the leather. I think maybe the leather's a little bit too strong. Oh god. We can fix it. Okay, I'm going to add more tobacco, just a wee bit more. And then we're going to use the oak amol. Okay, I've added in 5 more drops of tobacco. We're going to stop there for the tobacco absolute, and we're going to give it a swirly swirl. Swirly swirl. And we're going to get a fresh piece of pepper. And we're going to give it a sniff. Not bad. Not bad at all. It's actually very smooth. Very smooth. Okay, well, it's about to change big time because we're going to get into some sweeter notes and spices in a moment. I'm just going to have a drink. I like sparkling water the most. This is chilled sparkling water. Delicious. Okay. Are you taking notes? Freestyling it. Obviously, I don't recommend to do this at home. This is not a teaching video. But I'm not selling this fragrance. It's a gift to one of the subscribers. I'm never going to recreate it as a one-off. I want it to be spontaneous. I don't want to be stopping and writing down. And if I write everything down, it's going to be a really, really long live stream. This allows me to be more, you know, in the moment, spontaneous and, you know, quicker in a way for the live stream. But I'm not concerned about recreating it. So yeah, that's how we're doing it in this particular video. Okay, we're going to stop there. This is quite a strong note, so you don't need overly much of it. Slightly reminiscent of Norlimbanol in certain kind of aspects, because it's got a similar kind of sharpish, kind of driftwoody sharp note, but it's like an ambery woody tobacco material, but that's blended with the tobacco absolute. Okay, I'm kind of just trusting instinct here, so when you blend for a while you kind of get more intuitive of, do you know, like, how do you explain that? It's just an intuition that comes with a lot of practice, essentially. Yeah, that's not as rough as Norlimbanol. I'm not saying it smells the same, but it's that slight aspect of that sharp kind of woody smell is a little bit in that, but not to the same degree. You're only joined now. Okay, so what we're doing, for anyone that's new, is we're blending a fragrance for the winner of the Bespoke giveaway. This is the idea. There's a whole more like inspiration if you click to read more. But these are the notes. And the video link that he gave there was to a video that's since been made private, because I'd like to have played it for you, but it's not available anymore. But it was, if you imagine an old kind of cottagey log cabin kind of vibe with like leather sofas and dark wood furniture and tables and a big stone fireplace with a log burning fire, and the fire's on and the fire's crackling away with the wood, and you got like a glass of cognac on the table and like a plate of like Christmas cake and biscuits and like gingerbread kind of things, and you've got that kind of vibe, very cozy, ambient lit, nice fireplace. You've got leather bound books, like there's a library on the wall. You can see you got leather bound old pages, leather sofa, fireplace, glass of cognac, and more kind of Christmassy kind of style cakes and biscuits. So that's where we're going. And there's tobacco as well, so think of like cigars and an old pipe tobacco. Have I smelled Monte Cristo? I think I reviewed it a long time ago with a friend of mine. But it's been a while. Did it have like tobacco with leather? Okay, I'm going to stop here in terms of what we've added so far. I think it's smelling pretty good. But we're going to go into these. Let me think a second. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit of rum ether to give it just a little bit of smoke first, and then we're gonna go into the sweet spicy materials. So rum ether, to me, it's extremely smoky and very strong. I'm gonna start with literally 3 drops and just see how it goes. But yeah, I'm not gonna be using anything like birch tar, rectified, or anything like that. I'm relying on real castoreum and rum ether to provide a slightly smoky element to the woods, because we had the combination of woods already. We've got oak wood, CO2, we've got cedar wood, we've got a little bit of synthetic oud. Okay, I'm going to add maybe 2 more drops. I'm very scared of this material because of how nuclear this thing is. but it can tolerate a little bit more. When you have materials this strong, you literally want to go like 1 or 2 drops at the most and then smell it again, because a tiny bit can make a big difference and you can ruin it just by 1 extra drop, essentially. Okay. I don't want this to be like an off-putting smoke, it wants to be nuanced. Yes, it was rum, tobacco, leather and amber. Oh, very close. I just don't remember it properly now because it was quite a few years ago. Okay, I'm going to add maybe just... I'm going to risk 2 drops instead of just 1. And then we'll stop there. Okay, I'm getting nervous now. Okay, let's give this a swirly swirl. I'm going to get a new piece of paper. My little test strips. Okay. There we go, I got it. I can just smell it. Okay, I'm not risking a single more drop because this stuff is nuclear. Okay, cool. I get that slightly smoky wood kind of vibe, which is exactly what he wants. So, perfect. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add some sweeter notes with this. I don't want it too sweet because he doesn't specifically list sweet notes. I was going off more the vibe of the image that I got. So it's going to be subtly sweet with some spices. No, this will not be IFRA compliant, I'm afraid. Sorry. This is not sold. This is not a sold perfume. This is a gift to a subscriber that lives in America. It's not commercially available. It's a free gift, and it's going to someone outside of the EU. It's just a one-off, gift to a friend, subscriber. They are actually a friend. We speak in email sometimes too. As far as the ingredients go, well, in a way, like, I've ballparked in my brain over the years what I can use. You get familiar with what has allergens and everything, and you kind of know when to be gentle with materials. And so far, I don't think this would have massive problems. I've not used anything that's crazy allergenic or anything, so it's not going to give anyone a rash. And obviously, I would patch test it myself first before sending it off. But yeah, there's nothing like insane in here, so worry not, my friends. So you're asking about the amber accord. So the amber accord essentially was labdanum with benzoin, vanillin, and a little bit of tonka. So that's how we did the amber note. Okay, so let me just think a moment. Okay, I'm going to use... Okay. Okie dokie. I'm going to use literally 1 drop of that. Let me smell it. Okay, I'm going to up it to 3 drops. So another 2. Okay, we stop there. I'm going to give that a swirl. Okay, and then that's going to be balanced with 3 drops of that. So it's even. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're going to give that a swirl. Just a little bit more. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm going to stop there. My vibes are feeling that that's probably about right. Yeah, okay. Right, we're going to be using a mixture of spice here. So this is a cinnamon note at the moment. Okay, I'm going to stop there. Okay. Okay, I'm debating whether or not to use this. Okay, I'm going to use maybe just one drop of that. Okay, so what I just added there was cinnamon bark olefactory by IFF, but just literally a drop, and the rest of the cinnamon was coming from cinnamon alcohol. So I'm just giving this a swirly swirl, and then we're going to have a smell. So I can definitely get the smoky woods. The subtly more sweet notes that I added aren't all that strong. Okay, I'm going to stop there for the cinnamon. Where do I get my pipettes from? I'd have to check in the email. I get them from a laboratory place that sells like wholesale like lab equipment, and they've got like a box of like, the box is like this big, and you get like I think there's 1,000 pipettes in a box, something like that. It might be more than that, but it's like a giant box of pipettes. So it's more like a wholesale laboratory place. They sell things like scales and pipettes and all that kind of stuff. But I couldn't tell you the name of the company. I'd have to check the email. Okay, so I'm gonna okay. So I'm just balancing spices at the moment. So just bear with me while I. Again, with spices, you want to be quite slow and just do a little bit at a time, because spices, you know, can easily go overboard. Now there's a balance of like how spicy is too spicy, because I'm second guessing someone else's taste. So what I'm getting, I get smoky woods, I get a little bit of the cinnamon. The cinnamon gives it that warm kind of heat. The leather's kind of faded in the background now, but I think if I was to wear it on skin, the leather might come out a little bit more on the skin. I'm reluctant to add more leather in case it ruins it. Okay, I'm happy with the spice. I think I wouldn't want it any more spicy than that. That's definitely noticeable. And you get that rich kind of mix of tobacco and smoky woods. I think it's quite nice. It's very smooth. This is pretty good. To be quite honest, I think you could sell that if you were to... I'm sure people would like this one. This is quite nice. Tom King, hello, how are you? How's everyone doing? Is there really 80 people watching? That's crazy. Usually when I do a live stream it's like 20 people. Oh no, current viewers is 14, I was going to say. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Total views is 87. Okay, I see. Current views is, yeah, that's about the average. Okay. My phone just beeped. Okay, I've got an email. That's fine. Lol, sup Pete. Hello, how you doing? Okay, so for anyone just tuning in, we are making the winner of the custom bespoke fragrance. We're about halfway through, I would say. Okay, so we've got amber, we've got woods, we've got a little bit of smoke, we've got leather, we've got spice, we've got pipe tobacco. Okay, let me just reset my brain a second and just contemplate life a second. Right, so what I do need to do is do an old book accord. So I'm going to put this to the side a second. We're going to get a fresh clean beaker. I'm going to make a separate accord in this and then put it into there in stages. So I'm going to do something akin to old books, leather-bound books and old paper pages. That's the vibe we're going to go with. So we're going to use some synthetics. We're going to use some sweet notes, some vanilla. So basically I'm going to be using vanilla, maybe a little bit tonka, maybe some heliotrope, some ionones, more irisy kind of vibe, that kind of thing. Okay. Okay, so I think we need more than that. Okay. Okay, this is like, I'm relying fully on intuition here, so this is like free flowing with it. So what I've just done, let me just, where's that? Okay. Sorry, bear with me. Okay, so what we're trying to do is make kind of an old dusty book kind of smell. I'm probably going to add a little bit of leather to this, like leather-bound books. So this is a combination of ionones, kind of irisy kind of materials with a little bit of heliotrope, a little bit of tonka, a little bit of vanilla. And we're trying to get that slightly subtly sweet kind of old dusty kind of paper book kind of smell, really. Okay. I think it needs a bit more. Let me think. Hold on. No, not more of that. Okay, we'll put that back. I think a little bit of woods might help it, just a little bit. I'm contemplating which wood though. Maybe yes. I'm kind of torn between a little bit of sandalwood and a little bit of cedar, but maybe a little bit of both might do it. Okay, I'm going to use a synthetic sandalwood. I'm going to use just a little bit of ebonol. And a little bit of cedar, but I'm going to go with a rough grainy cedar, so I'm going to use a little bit of Texas cedar. But just a little bit, like a couple of drops. Okay, so what we're trying to do is make a slightly kind of old book smell. So we've got vanilla, tonka, heliotrope, ionones, more like iris orrisy kind of materials, sandalwood, cedarwood, and we're trying to get something akin to the smell of an old kind of dusty book. Oh, yeah, that wood's done the trick with the iris and the that's pretty good. Yeah, that definitely smells like an old book. Oh, I'm liking that. That actually reminds me a little bit of if it was a little bit sweeter, it would be on the direction of what do you call it? Imaginary Authors, Memoirs of a Trespasser. Okay. Let me just see how this goes. I think that smells really good. That definitely has old book paper smell. Very happy with that. That went better than expected, actually. We're going to add a little tiny touch of leather to it, and then we'll get like a leather-bound book. I think I'm going to literally add a single drop of this leather, because it's strong, and we'll just stop there and just see how that goes, because, whoops, sorry, it can overpower everything, and then you won't smell the paper vibe. I think that's enough. I think we've done it. Oh, maybe a bit of that. Hold on. Sorry, I keep getting. Okay, I'm gonna add just literally one drop of suederol because it'll give it that nice kind of texture. Okay, let's see. I don't know if I've done enough of it to make an impact in the rest of the blend. I think I probably have to use all of what I've put in here. Okay, the leather completely changes it, and it no longer smells like Imaginary Authors. But it does smell like leather-bound books in a library, I can tell you that. You definitely get the leather, you get the leather gives it a different vibe to Imaginary Authors. There's no leather in that one. You already made a dozen for yourself and friends. Nice. Very nice. You're wearing Imaginary Authors Memoirs of a Trespasser today, actually. Fantastic scent for foot. Yes, it's very nice. Okay. Okay, so we've got the book accord. The book accord is here. Old dusty books and leather. And we've got the rest of the blend here. And I think there's not all that much. I think we're going to pour... No, let's be safe. We'll do it drop by. I think I can probably pour the whole lot in there, to be honest. Because the rest of the blend is quite strong. So the problem you've got is you're competing with a lot of heavier materials, so it might not shine through. I might have to redo this twice in terms of the paper accord. Okay, well, let's just stop and have a smell. So these are the notes, just as a reminder. We've got old books. I'm thinking like old leather-bound books, so that's the vibe, with tobacco, smoky woods. God, we forgot the cognac. We have to do the cognac. A combination of spice and amber and a little bit of musk. I didn't use all that much musk. So this is smelling nice. I'm liking it. It's very well balanced. It's quite smooth. I am going to add the rest of that paper accord. I'm just going to use the whole lot of it because it's got a lot to compete with, so even if I put the whole lot in, it's definitely not going to overpower it. Let's see how that smells, because I might even add more. I'll have to remake another version of the Accord. So let's give this a swirl and see. Ideally what you'd do is you'd stop and put it on your skin and wear it for several hours and see if that Accord comes out as it's on your skin. Obviously for a live stream I don't have the luxury of that. Oh, this is nice. This is genuinely really nice. I get the woods, I get the spice. I think the book note does come through a little bit. You do get that slight kind of old dusty paper kind of smell almost. Hints of the leather. I'd say the tobacco is underdone. I don't really pick out tobacco. The combination of spice, woods, subtle sweet notes, it is quite nice. This would be a good winter fragrance. Okay, I'm not going to add any more of the paper Accord. I think what I've added in there is actually definitely making a difference, and you definitely get a vibe of it, so I think that's... I will put in what is left. There's only like a droplet left. Okay. I am contemplating adding a little bit more tobacco, to be honest. Okay, so the first hit there I got smoky woods. So the first top note is you get this kind of smoky woody Accord. And then the deeper you smell it, you start to perceive the cinnamon and the spice and subtle kind of sweetness. And then when you smell it softly, you get that kind of old, kind of dusty pages of a book kind of vibe. It's nice. I'm quite chuffed with this so far. I think it does require a little bit more tobacco. Let me just see. Okay. Okay, I've added a bit more tobacco. We're going to finish this off with some cognac essential oil. Do you like adding Hay Absolute? I do like hay, and you're right, it does go well with tobacco. I don't have any at the moment, so I can't add it in. But yeah, it can be nice. Okay, I'm just smelling. If you can't see what I'm doing, I'm just sniffing the paper and thinking while I smell. This is very nice. I'm liking it. I do have another tobacco note. I've got a material called tabanone, which is, I think, what they use in tobacco. Tom Ford's tobacco oud, tobacco, or whatever it's called, tobacco oud. I'm tempted to use just a little bit of it. No, I'm not going to. I think we're going to leave it with just the real absolute. Sorry, I'm just kind of contemplating as I do this, so sorry if it's a bit of a boring watch. Yes, for me too. I grew up next to a farm field. It later got developed into like 200 houses, but when I was a child it was just huge fields. And then, yeah, once a year they would let the grass grow, and then it would dry out, and then the tractor would come and chop it all up into hay bales. And there was a big wall with it was a stone wall with maybe a 12-foot drop off the wall into the field. And I used to get all the loose hay from the side of the field that hadn't been baled, and I'd stack up a big stack of loose hay at the bottom of the wall, and I'd jump off the top of the wall and jump like 12 foot down into the hay. It's probably less than 12 foot, to be honest. As a kid it seemed really high, but maybe, I don't know, 8 or 9 feet maybe, probably more realistic. Okay. I'm liking this. I think what we're going to do now is just add the cognac. I think it's done. Let me read the notes again. We've got the amber, we've got the musk, we've got the combination of spice, we've got some subtle sweet notes, we've got leather-bound books, we've got smoky woods, we've got tobacco. Yeah. We've just got to balance the cognac, which is here. We've got... this stuff is like a light green colour. This cognac essential oil is... Can't really see it on the video, but you'll have to trust me. It's kind of a light shade of green. Okay, so I've used this in elixir, so I'm familiar with roughly how strong it is, obviously, because it's one of the main top notes in elixir, which has since been discontinued. I don't make elixir anymore. I might make a second version of it next year where it's got a different caramel accord, because the caramel note I used has got the same chemical compound in it as fenugreek. So to some people it smells like curry, which is not desirable. So next year I'm going to redo it with something else, but have a similar kind of coffee wood sweet kind of thing, but without that curry kind of vibe, and probably less strong. It kind of sold well because of how ridiculously strong elixir was, so it appeals to a certain audience, but I think having it less crazy is actually maybe better, to be honest, because a lot of people were put off from it because of how strong it was, which is understandable. So, yes, exactly. You know the score. Wow. Well, that's enough cognac. It definitely smells cognac-y. Okay, I'm going to stop there. Don't want to make him smell like an alcoholic. Cool. Okay, we've got cognac. We've got tobacco. We've got old books. We've got leather. We've got amber. We've got spice. We've got all sorts of things going on in here. That's very smooth. I'm pretty sure you'll like it. These are the notes. I think we've achieved the goal, my friends. I think this is smelling nice. I'm actually impressed about how smooth it is. It actually This would be quite easy to wear. It's not like a crazy challenging kind of... it's smooth. It's got a nice balance to it. I can definitely smell the cognac. I think the cognac slightly takes away from the spice, actually. It's kind of overtakes the spice. But the cognac burns off after like 10-15 minutes and the spice should still be there. So once the cognac kind of fades out as a top note, it should still have a little bit of that. The spice should be, what I'm trying to say is the spice will be longer lasting than the cognac. So even though it's slightly overtaken the spice, I think it will come through once the cognac chills out a bit. Yeah, this is good. I'm liking this. I might tweak it a little bit off stream. Just a little bit. But I'm pretty satisfied. I think this is going to smell very nice. Cool. Pretty happy with that. Very nice. It's a shame we don't have smell-o-vision, isn't it? Where I could just like put that to the camera and you could all smell it and give me some feedback. That'd be cool. You heard Elixir was a beast. Yes. Yes, it was. I think most people that tried it probably thought it was too strong, but there is a market for very strong fragrances. So in that little circle it did quite well. But I've decided to... It sold the best, interestingly, in Spain. Some of the Spanish YouTube reviewers, fragrance reviewers in Spain, they have Spanish-speaking channels, but a couple of them bought Elixir and talked about it in videos, and it sells really well at Equation Natural, which is my Spanish stockist. It sells better in Spain than it does in England and America combined. Because I didn't sell Elixir for, I don't know, I think I sold like one bottle in like several months, very slow. And America, they never ordered a restock for a long, long time. So it doesn't really sell in the rest of the world, but for some reason in Spain it sells very well. Didn't seem to catch on in the rest of the world. It sold well in Dubai as well. But I think that was because of Demi Rawling. She did a TikTok on it and it got a load of sales for Emirati people in Dubai. This is really nice. I think this is good. I'm sure he'll enjoy it. I think this will be great for him. Very happy. Cool. I shall email him, let him know that the blend is finished and that I will be shipping it to him on Monday. FedEx doesn't pick up on the weekend, but Monday it will be on the way. So get it shipped out before Christmas. He'll get it a little bit after New Year, which should be good. How did he win it? So I did a video celebrating... Let me just move this. I did a video celebrating 10 years of Centauri perfumes, and in that video I said basically I'm doing a giveaway for a bespoke fragrance. Leave your ideas in the comments and I'll pick a winner and I'll make it for you and send you a bottle for free as a gift. So that's what this video is. This is the fragrance that won. And there you go. So this is a bespoke, custom made, to spec, which is cool. Good fun. Lovely. Okay. We're going to take a break there, I think. Well, I say a break, we're going to finish there, I think. I might tweak it a little bit after an hour, so I'm going to cover this over with a little plastic wrap. Let it sit for an hour. I'll let my nose clear and I'll come back a little later and I might do a little tweak and then yeah, dilute it up and bottle it up. But I think this is going to be good. Yeah, pretty happy. I think that's nice. Hopefully he'll like it. Hi, I'm just reading the comments. The had smell-o-vision with something cards. Congrats on 60k. Oh, thank you very much. Is that Lily? Is it Lily? Have you changed your name? Is it Lily? Because the name's different. The only thing, the Lily. Is it the Lily? She's just changed the name. Why did you change your name? The only thing, this channel, how do I say it? This channel gains subscribers purely on the back of one video, and that's the how to make perfume tutorial video. None of the other videos get really any views, and what's something only you and I know, lol. What's the name of my old friend who is no longer a friend that lives in Canada that doesn't speak to me anymore? That is also friends with you. What's his first name? I don't think anyone else will know that. It is Lily. Hi, Lily. Why are you not talking? I am talking. I'm just kidding. Yeah, the only video that gets views on this channel is the how to make perfume tutorial, and it's, yeah, people subscribe because of that video. As soon as I went through a phase where I muted those videos where they were no longer visible and just removed them for a period of time because I wasn't happy with the old versions and I wanted to make a new one. And while I had no how to make perfume tutorial videos, my subscriber rate dropped significantly from like 800 subscribers a month down to, I think it got to something like 30 a month, which is like nothing for a YouTube channel. That's tiny. Yeah, it dropped down to like 30 or 20 subscribers a month. I mean, it was really, really low. Basically, no one was subscribing in an entire month. The views were like off a cliff crap. And then I put a new how to make perfume tutorial video. That slowly got views. Very slowly at first. It took maybe 2 or 3 months for it to gain traction. Now that video gains about 1,000 views every 2 days. Like it slowly, consistently gets 1,000 views every 48 hours. And my subscribers went up to 800 subscribers a month, and it's purely on that one video. The actual review channel is dead. Like if I just review a perfume, 500 people might watch it, and I might get 4 or 5 comments. I'm probably not going to do reviews anymore, and just not bother, because the channel's dead that way. Literally the only thing that gets views on this channel is airport duty-free video and how to make perfume tutorial. Nothing else. No one's interested in anything else. That's just the reality of it. I did contemplate making a second channel with a different name and doing the odd review on the other channel, and not bothering putting them on this channel, and just use this one for like the odd tutorial video, because like I say, it's the only thing that gets actual views on this channel. Review Latafas. No. I'd rather cry in a corner. Only shills get views. Well, I don't know. It's... I don't know what the word is. Because I've been doing it so long, like 10 years is a long... a decade of my life. 10 years is a long time to be reviewing perfumes on YouTube. And I've gone through phases where I got tired of it and I didn't upload for a few months and I just needed a break, and then I came back to it, and my channel's had ups and downs, and then I go to India, and then... Sorry, I'm looking there, but the camera's here. The channel's had its kind of ups and downs, but recently, in the last several months, it's just... I suppose when I do a video, let's, like, hypothetically, I do a video and I do, like, I smell, like, 7 different niche fragrances, I do a little mini review of each one. The views recently were, like, I don't know, 500-600, one of them was, like, 400 views, and that's fine, like, but when you look at the subscriber number, I've got, like, 60,000 subscribers, and then 600 people watch a review. That tells me that the majority of the audience isn't subscribed to watch reviews. The only thing they're interested in is the airport videos and the tutorial videos. So the review part of the channel is... very few people actually subscribe to that, or if they were initially, they lost interest and no one's really bothered anymore. And when that happens, like, there's not really any way to recover it, I don't think. It's like an algorithm death. And it kind of just makes me lose motivation, to be honest. I just think, well, I'm kind of wasting my time in a way. And after 10 years, like, how long do you do it for? Before you just, you know, it's like flogging a dead horse. It's like, if it's kind of naturally come to an end and people aren't really interested anymore, I don't want to force it. I don't want to do it for like... You know what I mean? That's just the feeling after 10 years that I have, is that... I mean, there are up-and-coming channels that I really enjoy watching myself. There's some great ones, and they've got, like... Sorry, my neck hurts, because I screwed my back up the other week. I say the other couple of days ago. Some of the channels have got, like, 4,000 to 5,000 subscribers, and they get more views than my reviews do per video. Like, they're outdoing my videos on views. So, like, I don't know, I don't see the point of continuing with the reviews on this channel, to be honest. If I do, it'll be like once in a while. I'm probably going to step away a little bit from it. Like I say, I think maybe I'll introduce a second channel that'll just have little reviews every now and again on it. And this channel, I'll do the odd tutorial video. I'm not even going to do duty-free anymore. Oh god, my neck is killing me. Sorry. Ow. Oi. I had to lift a load of furniture out of the rooms because I had floors relaid in this house. New floor in the living room, so everything in the living room had to be moved. And then a new floor in the kitchen and a new floor in the bathroom, and I've been moving furniture, and I pulled my back the other day, and like in between the shoulder blades here, it's really sore. I don't know. I could do with like a what's they call, like a deep tissue massage thing right on between my shoulder blades. I've I don't know, tore the muscle or something. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll do a separate channel for reviews and put the odd video on this other channel. Why that's nice is because my subscribers will start from 0 again. Like, I won't have 60,000 subscribers. And then it's not as deflating when the video only gets like 100 views or 200 views, because like I've got I might have like 50 subscribers or 100 subscribers. Only the people actually interested in watching a video will watch, and then that'll help the algorithm, and it'll just feel better in a way. I suppose it gets a little bit depressing, I suppose, to be quite honest, when you've got a big subscriber base but then no one watches. It just feels like it's a failure, to be quite honest. That's how it like feels after 10 years. At the same time, I'm kind of detached from it, so it doesn't, I don't lose sleep about it. It's just a natural thing. But yeah, what would be nice if I start a new channel from zero, and then only the people that are actually interested in watching reviews will subscribe to it, which might be just like 100 people or something. And then when I do a video, those people that are subscribed are actually there because they like to watch reviews, and then it will be in proportion to the subscriber view ratio, which will just, it's just nicer, in my opinion. I'd rather have a small channel that gets reasonable views in terms of ratio to subscriber than have a channel that's basically dead. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I'll probably end up doing, is I'll just have another new channel from zero and do the reviews on this other channel. This one, maybe I'll just turn it into like a tutorial thing where I just do a tutorial video every now and again. Yeah, so that's probably what I'll do, is I'll have a separate review channel, and this one will be like teaching tutorial videos now and again when I've got time to do that. Yeah. Do you lift through your knees? To be fair, I didn't do any probably correct posture going up and down the steps with the heavy furniture. I just grabbed hold of it like a bear hug and carried it up the steps. There was no correct posture. I screwed myself over, unfortunately, but it is what it is. It's not as bad anymore. Like today, last 2 days have been reasonably fine. It's just because I've been sat here for over an hour, and like, I don't know, I could do with a stretch. Well, yeah, I mean the 60,000 thing, it doesn't really mean anything. It's to be honest, it's just meaningless. It's arbitrary. Like, out of those 60,000 people, 500 might actually watch a video normally. So to say I've got 60,000 is kind of bullshit, really. I might as well have 500 subscribers. You know what I mean? It's not realistic. Like, a lot of the subscribers subscribed like several years ago. Like, they move on, they watch other channels, they lose interest in fragrance. Like, you don't watch the same YouTube channel for 10 years typically. People naturally move on and the audience changes. But in my case, the audience didn't really change. It just disappeared and didn't come back. But, like, I'm not worried about it. It's just, that's how it is. It looked like you were hacked and the hacker bought subs. I've never bought subscribers in my life, so, I think you know me well enough to know that I wouldn't do that. But it's just, I don't know, I think people just lost interest, and I kind of went away for a period of time as well, like on and off over the years. And lack of videos as well. I didn't do regular enough videos, and if you're not regular, then kind of people lose interest. There's all sorts of combinations of why. And a lot of it's my fault, And I don't review designer fragrance as much, and when I do, no one watches them. People say I'm too picky. Something I get a lot is people complain that, oh, he's too picky and he doesn't like anything. So they actually don't watch the videos because they think, oh, well, he doesn't like anything, he doesn't like it. And it's not entertaining to watch because I'm more critical as a reviewer, and it's not, they're not getting that kind of dopamine hit of happy kind of, oh, this smells great, buy this, is absolutely amazing, oh my god. Like, you're not getting that. So You know, I think people just, you know, lose interest. Sorry if my stomach makes weird noises, but when I drink sparkly water, the gas kind of makes my stomach go sometimes, so apologies if you hear rumbles. It's very niche. You enjoy it. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah, I don't think it works either, this buying subscriber thing. I think some people do it, but at the end of the day, they're like not real people, so it doesn't change your viewership. It doesn't really help you grow. It just looks impressive that you got a load of subscribers, but they're not real people. So weirdly, one of my videos that is the most popular on the channel is a diving video offshore that I did several years ago in Dubai. The thing went viral randomly, like after years of just sat there. I don't know what the hell happened, but it got something like 2 million views, which is mental. And that jumped up my subscribers because they were subscribing thinking I was uploading diving videos. Obviously, I don't do that anymore. It was like a couple of one-off videos. I gained a couple of thousand subscribers from that viral video. And they're like dead subscribers because obviously they're subscribing to someone uploading perfume videos, not the offshore diving video was like a one-off. You've been watching the channel for 6 to 7 years. Wow. Cool. Do you miss diving? Not really. Sometimes. I miss parts of it, but then other parts it's like... I miss the novelty of it and some of the experiences of being under the water because I just like water. Like when I have a bath here, like I can sit in a bathtub for like an hour and be quite happy just soaking in water. Like if I had a house with a swimming pool, I'd probably spend hours every day just in a swimming pool. I like being in water for some reason, whether it's in a bath or a swimming pool or the ocean. I'd like being in water. I don't know why, but I do. So it's nice kind of watching the fish and stuff, but the actual work, it's hot and sweaty and hard and stressful and dangerous, and the ship that you live on is kind of a shithole. Excuse the language, but it is. The food isn't great. I don't eat meat anymore. I've been vegetarian now for like 6 years, I think. I would die offshore. I wouldn't be able to eat anything because I have a weird food problem where I don't really eat vegetables, so I'm a vegetarian that can't eat vegetables, which basically eliminates my diet down to pasta and pizza, which is not overly healthy, I'll be honest. It's slightly improved recently because I bought myself a pizza oven. I've got an Uni pizza oven, an indoor one. It's electric, but it's got a pizza stone, and I make my own dough from scratch. I've learned how to make my own pizza dough, and so I roll my own dough and make my own pizza bases and my own sauce from scratch. Excuse me, sorry, the gassy water's hitting me. And so I'll get like a tin of more nice quality chopped tomatoes, Italian chopped tomatoes, and I use this, I don't know what you call it. It's for making very smooth mashed potato, and you kind of turn a thing and it sieves it through fine kind of holes, and I make a very fine pizza sauce with oregano and pinches of salt and a little bit of garlic, and then I roll it out and I use fresh mozzarella now, which is a pain in the arse, to be honest, if anyone's used fresh mozzarella, because it's very watery. It's floating in like a bag of water basically when you get it, and you've got to like sieve it and drain it for like hours, and then you've got to slice it finely and then press it between paper or tissue, should I say, like tissue. Sorry for the gross noises from my sweaty hands. tissue cloth, tissue paper, and you squeeze out the water from the mozzarella. And if you don't do it enough, like, it makes the pizza watery in the middle as it cooks. So you've got to really quite dry it out. But it makes amazing pizzas. Like, I'm super impressed with it. And this Uni company, I'm not kidding, like, they're so good. When I got the pizza oven, my pizza stone cracked. I think in the first 2 weeks it cracked. And I wrote to them in panic thinking, oh my god, like, I've only just got it, why is it cracking? And they were like, don't worry, you're covered, we'll send you a brand new one. It came the next day, I got a replacement for free. That one cracked after the second cook. So it was literally 2 days, it cracked again. I was like, oh my god, this is not good. So I emailed them and I sent them pictures and I said, I'm really sorry, but this thing's cracked a second time. They're like, worry not, you're covered for like, I think is it 3 years or 4 years? 3, I think. It's got a warranty for 3 years, so if anything goes wrong in 3 years, immediately they send me a replacement. So I was like, okay, I can live with that. Like, anyway, I got a third stone and it's been fine ever since. They said now and again they get like hairline fractures in shipping, and then it splits when the heat goes on it. I was just unlucky for a couple of times, but this third stone seems to be fine. But even if it cracks again, like, they send me a free one for the next 3 years, so it's a relief knowing that it won't cost me a load of money. But the pizza stone, like the pizza oven, the Uni pizza oven, amazing. And the customer service, like I say, they're super quick, super friendly, instantly sends you like a new thing if it breaks. So I'm super happy, and the pizzas are amazing. Like, it's so much better than like a store-bought pizza from the supermarket. It's infinitely nicer. What's up with not eating vegetables? Good question. I don't have a good answer for you apart from it's like taste and texture, and it goes back to childhood, like when I was a small little wee boy. Like, if I tasted something green in my mouth, like, God forbid if I had a little bit of broccoli or something, I would want to be physically sick. Like, there's an actual reaction of, like, I can't even swallow it. So anything that's, like, a strong green flavour, I don't like. I hated carrots, peas, any kind of salad-y thing, like lettuce or cabbage, is absolutely revolting to me. I can't bear it. Oh, sorry, my stomach just went because of all the gas. But, yeah, I mean, you don't need to get into my quirky diet, but I've tried over the years. I went through a phase of being able to eat carrot if I very finely chop them, like French fries, and I soak them in olive oil, balsamic vinegar, garlic, salt, paprika, and then I roast them in an air fryer and they come out like chips. I can eat them then. They're actually quite nice. In the last year, I've been able to eat, or in the last couple of years, I can eat peppers. So like red and green pepper, I can fry it and have stir fries, and I can eat red and green pepper fine. I did eat some peas in the pod like a couple of years ago from the garden, because Sophie and Chris, my sister, and her husband grow some veg in the garden, and they have like fresh pea pods, and I like can swallow the pea pods whole raw. That was fine. So onion, ugh, no, I don't like onion. It's one of the things that's disgusting to me. I really don't like onion. So yeah, my diet's kind of screwed up, to be honest. Basically, I lived on meat. Before I was a vegetarian, I ate loads of meat on every meal, basically. Almost a carnivore, I would say. And now it's the opposite. It's basically carbohydrates: pasta, spaghetti, pizza, potato. It's not ideal. I actually gained a little bit of weight. I mean, I'm not fat by any means, but I've definitely got yeah, like I say, I'm not fat, but there's more weight to me than there used to be. Like, eating carbs obviously affects my belly region, so there's a little extra I would prefer to be slimmer. It's like not appealing to me to have a little, even a bit of a bulge. I don't like the look of on me. So when I go to India, I'll probably do a lot more walking and try and burn some of the carb fat off. You did a 6 month where you only ate waffles and jam and whipped cream. That sounds awful. Why would you do that? Why become a vegetarian then? Good question. I don't think I've got time to answer because my battery is dying. I've got 16%. I could carry on if I use the microphone in the camera, but I can't plug my laptop in unless I remove one of them. The vegetarian thing was a spiritual choice because I went through a whole bunch of experiences that a lot of people wouldn't even believe, and I don't think there's any point talking about it because people would be like, "What the fuck?" Yeah, and there's a whole thing that I don't really know how to approach it in a normal conversation. But basically, my worldview changed quite dramatically, and my view of reality changed, and like I don't know how to even talk about it. I like a lot of Indian saints and all these Indian kind of spiritual people. They don't eat meat typically. There's one that did. Nisargadatta Maharaj did eat meat. He was from a meat eating family, but in general, all the people that I feel an attraction to spiritually, so to speak. I'm not talking about physical attraction, but like an attraction to what they taught, like their teachings and their state of enlightenment is attractive to me. They all advocate for a vegetarian diet, which is great if you can eat vegetables, but it kind of sucks for me, but because I don't eat veg, so I kind of suffer a little bit, really. I'm going to switch to I think this has got an inbuilt microphone, the camera, because my battery's going to die, and I don't want to just abandon people. Hold on. I don't know whether this will work, just bear with me, because I'm presuming this thing has a microphone. You can tell me if it sounds crap, otherwise I'll say goodbye. 2 seconds. Hold on, I can't unplug it. Okay, let me plug in the laptop. There we go. Hello? Did that work? Hello? Okay, I think I'm speaking into the camera now. Is the volume, like the actual sound, any good? Hello. So this isn't on anymore. I'm using the microphone in the camera. We hear you fine. Really? Huh. Is it worse than this, or is it like equally as good as this? Because if it's equally as good, then this is a waste of money. To be fair, I bought the camera after this. I bought this first, but it's lower and muffled. Okay, so it's not as good. Yeah, okay, that's fine. It's a little less volume. Okay. So this is better then, which is nice because at least I have it for a reason. Much worse quality. You think it's much worse? Oh, that's a shame. Okay. Well, I don't know what else to do because I could just say goodbye, I guess. Almost no bass, lower quality, but we hear you. Should I just say goodbye? Is it not good enough to have a chat? This MacBook has two imports, so one's for a camera, one's for the microphone. It means I can't plug it into the power, so as soon as I do a live stream, the battery goes down, and then you're kind of screwed. External mic is much better, but we hear you fine. Yeah. I don't know how, if there's a way of... Um, I did try buying like a USB thing with multiple ports, but I found that it didn't work for the power. So when I plugged in the power to charge the laptop, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't work. It doesn't like give enough power through the extender. God, this gas is making me make weird noises. If you had started the live stream like this, it would probably not be an issue. Yeah. So, yeah, if there's anything you want to talk about, I could do a covering this over, to be honest, but it'll be fine for a little bit. Let me put this away. Things are a little bit messy here still. I've still got boxes everywhere. What's cool is... Oh, let me just read the comments. I have a couple of them spare. Send me your address. Send it. I need to try it again. I have this extender thing. It just... For some reason, it doesn't allow the power to go through. I don't quite get it. I go to bed. It's 1:30 a.m. here. Good night, Roy. Sleep well. It is 12:30 here. I'm an hour behind you. Have you found some interesting raw materials? Not recently. Nothing in the last 6 months, I would say, to be honest. No. Sorry, that's a disappointing answer, I presume, but it's the truth. But there you go. I am launching a new brand on Monday, for anyone that didn't know. I have a second perfume brand, which I'm very excited about. I think it's going to be cool. It's launching on Monday afternoon, probably. I haven't set a time, to be honest. I have not set a time, but it will be on Monday. So there will be a video where I announce it and introduce it to you, and a website which you can check out and buy a sample if you want to, or a bottle. But samples are available. It's in a completely different bottle and lid, and the whole presentation is different. The whole theme is different. The perfumes are lighter and more affordable than Centauri. So it's more minimalistic, I would say. It's minimalistic, easygoing, easy to wear at the moment. I might do some challenging ones later, but where will it ship to? Everywhere that Centauri can. I have reopened shipping to America. I don't know how that's going to go, because a couple of people emailed me and were really wanting to buy fragrances from me, because Lucky Scent have... The pipes are making weird noises in the house. Lucky Scent just they're not selling a lot of Centauri fragrances anymore. Like, they're not restocking them. They say basically the sales aren't good enough and they don't want them anymore, basically. So like things like Dendera and things, they don't reorder it. It's just gone. So I did have some people email me wanting to buy things like Dendera and Proxima, which aren't available at Lucky Scent anymore. And like I say, they don't want to restock them, so it's just gone from there. So I reopened it because they were willing to pay any import fees that they might get. So it's up to the customer at the moment. If Americans are willing to pay the charges, then it's up to the individual to make that choice. So I've reopened it to America. From my research, though, the cost doesn't seem as much as what I initially thought it would be. It's more likely to be about the $20 to $25 range in terms of tax that you'll pay. Whereas earlier on, I was thinking it seemed to be that you would pay more like $50 to $200. It's more like $20, $25, which isn't too bad. It's it's not great, but it's not it's not going to bankrupt anyone. Hello, cheers from Indonesia. It's early in Indonesia. Good morning. How are you? I've been to Indonesia. I actually worked in Jakarta. I flew out to Jakarta and worked for a company called Seascape. I did about 40 odd days, maybe 50, close to 50, I think, in working offshore in Indonesia. It was my second ever offshore trip. I bought my BMW Z4 after that trip because it paid well. it, yeah, it paid quite well. I was quite amazed, and it was a long stretch. Um, yeah, that was a crazy experience. That God, the kitchen and the food and that shit was awful. I mean, ugh. I was kind of quite glad to not go back, but it was not pretty. Um, yeah, some of the days were just disgusting, to be honest. But anyway, the work was actually the work was stressful as hell because I was a newbie. I didn't know what I was doing. Like I had no work experience. It was all new to me. So everything was new, and so everything was stressful. It's like God, I don't know what I'm doing. Like you feel out of your depth, quite literally. Um, you kind of have to learn quick. It was an eye opening experience, though. It was definitely life experience. Um, I had a lot of crazy experiences on that trip. It was quite something. Even when it finished, in fact, I don't even want to tell you some of the stories that happened because it was, yeah, I saw the dark side of men specifically on that trip. Uh, yeah, it changed my opinion on people. I think quite fundamentally. I was like, wow. Uh, yeah, I don't even want to get into that. What happened, what I saw, but yeah, put it this way. Like, if there's any women watch, in fact, I shouldn't even say. Some of these men were married, right? Married, had a wife and children, and the first thing that they do when they get off the ship, you wouldn't believe what they do. I was quite heartbroken, to be honest. Like, it's things that, yeah. Anyway, I don't want to talk about it. It just opened my eyes to like, it's just people are shit. How do you say it? It dropped my opinion of men, at least the men that I was surrounded by. Oh, yeah, it made me feel a bit sick. But anyway, life, what to do? Have you blended ingredients from Indonesia like patchouli, vetiver, java, oud? Yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, I can believe it. Men like women. That's one way to word it. Um, yeah, well, no, we shouldn't get into that conversation, but it did it changed my worldview because it happened on not just one offshore trip, but like multiple offshore trips with multiple different married men. And it was like a repeating pattern that I noticed, and I was just shocked, to be honest. I was really genuinely like, I can't believe how common this is, and like how like normal it is to these people. Like it seems like it's just a normal thing, and it to me it was like, what the fuck are you doing? Sorry for my language, but um, oh, it's disgusting. Really, that part of the job I don't miss because I had to put up with a lot of bullshit, like some really crap people, like people that I would not choose to be friends with, but I have to work with them. You know what I mean? Like just not good people. But anyway, yeah, that's, I don't know. Maybe it's just the career. Maybe offshore, like when you're away from home for months at a time in a different country. Maybe that's attracts a certain kind of person, and maybe it's not that common outside of things like that. But my God, like I feel bad for the women. I mean, for the wives and children. I mean, like the families, because they would have no idea. They just It's just sad. It's quite sad. How did we get onto that topic anyway? Bloody hell! Let's move on from that. Oh, it's because we were talking about Indonesia, and then I went into offshore trips. Yes, that's how we got there. Never mind. But yes, I'm launching a new brand on Monday. I'm excited about it. I've got some. Yeah, I wonder what the reaction will be. Actually don't know how it will. If it's difficult launching new brands because, or even new fragrances, because it's hard to get people to talk about fragrance, to recommend it, or to share it on social media, or where it actually gets some momentum. You know what I mean? It's difficult. So the sales might be really low. It might not get any traction, but I'm pretty happy with the fragrances. I think they smell really nice, and I think people will like them. So I mean, it's in the hands of the universe, isn't it? So I'll keep my fingers crossed. I hope people will enjoy them. I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be nothing will be taken away from Centauri. I'll still release obviously Centauri fragrances, but this is just a fun second project for me. That's just like I say, it's fun. It's enjoyable. It's a new creative outlet. So I'm gonna enjoy doing both. Do you travel to other parts of Southeast Asia? I've never been to the Philippines. I have been to, so I'll tell you everywhere I've been. Um, I have been to Thailand for travel as a backpacker as well as work. I've worked in Thailand offshore. That company was called Mermaid. So I've been to Thailand, I've been to Laos. I know people pronounce that country differently. I pronounce it Lao, and Vietnam. I've been to Thailand, Laos, Vietnam, Cambodia, Indonesia, Bali. I think that's everything. Everything in Southeast Asia that I've been to. But I've never been to the Philippines. But yeah, Thailand, Laos, Vietnam, Cambodia, Bali, Indonesia. Yeah, that's it. How many will it be? What do you mean by how many? Oh, you mean how many releases? There's going to be two fragrances. I'm launching two. One's a musk one, and the other one is a citrus. So there's musk, and the other one is citrus. Hope you can ship to EU. I can't because of Brexit. However, my Spanish stockist has ordered the new brand. They're taking the new brand on, and I've already shipped them their order. It's on the way already. It's on a plane to Spain right now. Usually it gets held up in Seville for like a week or two sometimes, and with it being over Christmas, I think it will be longer. Christmas and New Year's obviously is going to delay it, but after the New Year, they will have the stock, and you'll be able to buy it from Equation Natural, and they ship all over Europe. Philippines is your favourite country. I don't know if I have a favourite country. Um, I don't think I don't know if I have a favourite. I like India obviously because I lived there half the year recently. Um, but I don't know if I would say it's my favourite country. Um, I've been to a lot of countries, but there's a lot of places that I haven't been. So I can imagine quite enjoying places like the north part of Sweden and Norway, those kinds of places. I think the nature, the scenery, the nature would definitely appeal to me. I think I'd like that, but I've never been. Um, I've been to Norway for like a few hours on a layover, but I didn't get to like see really any of it. I think it was Is Helsinki the capital of Norway? I think it is. I went to Helsinki, but I was only there for like I had like maybe 4 or 5 hours in Helsinki before I had to go back to the airport. But like I say, it was a layover, so I had like 4 to 5 hours or so out in Helsinki. Oslo? Where's Helsinki? Which country is it? Finland. God damn. Why was I thinking Norway? Oslo's Norway. Helsinki's Finland. Okay, my mistake, sorry. I've been to Finland for a few hours, not Norway. Oslo. Okay. My bad. Sorry. But yeah, Helsinki, I was there for like 4 or 5 hours maybe. That was nice. God, it was expensive though. Very expensive. I remember buying a sandwich and being like, oh my god, like, how do people afford this? Like, I guess they get paid more in terms of like relative money, obviously it makes sense, but from an English person's point of view, it was like, oh my god, that's insane amount of money for a sandwich. Like, a small amount of food was like really expensive. But I had the same thing when I went to, oh god, my brain's going blank. Uh, I can't remember cities now. Is it Zurich? Zurich? God, I feel stupid now because my brain's like not working. Zurich's in Switzerland, right? Or am I being like stupid? Um, is my brain failing me again? Mm, I think it's in Switzerland. Anyway, Zurich's in Switzerland. I'm not just being stupid there, am I? Yeah, okay. I'm proper doubting myself now. I screwed up the freaking Norway Finland thing. Anyway, I ordered a burger there, and my god, it was like the most expensive burger I've ever paid for in my life. Couldn't believe it. Very, very, very expensive. I could not afford to live there. Um, but to be fair, it was in the airport, so I don't know what it's like on the street because I was only in the airport, and obviously airports tend to charge more anyway. But even in comparison to like buying food in like a European, well, not European is a bad example, like in Manchester airport or Dubai airport or any of these other major airports that I go through, in Switzerland it was like to another level of price. It was like, I can't remember, it was like £25 for like a beef burger. This was back when I ate meat, but there was like a beef burger that was like that big, and a little bit of a like a Coke drink or something, a Coke and a beef burger, and it was like £25. I was like, what? Like, that's not, you just, I don't know. That's like Gordon Ramsay restaurant level kind of price of burger to me. That's insane. But like you say, I don't know. I guess they get paid more, so for them it sounds more normal. But to me, it was a shock, like paying that much for like something simple. I don't know if I have a favorite country. One of the most beautiful places I've been was Easter Island. I spent a week on Easter Island. There's not much there, but it's the Moai statues and the sunsets that I like. Like, there's almost nothing there. There's like a small village on one side with like, I don't actually know how many people live there, but it's not that many. It's like I would say it's a very small town, um, and and that's it. Some of the island's just empty. It's just, and there's not even really any trees there. There's like a handful of trees, um, and that's it. And it's just you can drive from one end of the island to the other in like 20 minutes. It's not a big island, but at different parts of the island are these huge stone moai statues buried in the ground, and they're all beautiful. But the sunsets there, because it's in the middle of the Pacific. It's miles and miles of ocean around it. Like, there's just in the middle, and it's off the coast of Chile, in South America, in the middle of the Pacific. So there's just miles and miles and miles and miles of just open sea around the island. It's just in the middle of nowhere. And there's no light pollution because the town is so small. and so I used to sit on the beach, and just watch the stars and the sunsets. And my God, it was some of the most beautiful sunsets I've ever seen in my life. Watching the sunsets and seeing the stars, and incredible, really, really beautiful. So in terms of experiential kind of, that was really nice. I like nature. I'm not a city person. I like looking at stars. I like the ocean. I like forests and trees. Um, I'm not a big city person. And I like old temples and things. Like Cambodia was cool because they had the Angkor Wat complex, which is really amazing old temples in Cambodia. Um, so certain aspects of different countries I like. Uh, at the time, I wasn't spiritual when I went there. I didn't have. Now I would say I'm a spiritually focused person, but back then I wasn't. Um, so I didn't consider it spiritual, but I like being in nature, like close to the. I don't know. I like natural things. I like watching sunsets. I like trees. Like I've already said it, but I don't think I ever considered it spiritual. It's just something that felt nice. You know what I mean? It just feels nice. I like when I'm in India. I do it. I go up on. There's a hill where I'm in India, and I go up the hill, and it's like a foresty hill. There's trees and rocks, and I can just sit on a rock, and there's like um, langur monkeys and macaque, and not macaque. What are they called? I forgot what the species of the other monkey. I can't remember it now. But the langur monkeys are the nicer ones. The other ones are a bit aggressive, but the langur are more chill. And there's dogs, wild kind of street dogs that are my friends, and I just sit with the dogs and the monkeys and watch the sunset. It's nice. I like it. Is it true that Cambodia is a good place for investments and buildings? I have no idea. No idea. I know nothing about that kind of thing. Even when I was in Japan, it was amazing to travel even more remote spots in nature and hiking somehow far removed from the usual worries of life. I've never been to Japan. I've had friends that have enjoyed it. I would like the more quiet places. I wouldn't be interested in like, the big, you know, Tokyo or is it what's the other major cities called? Tokyo. You got is it Kyoto. Begins with a K. I don't know. I'm not huge up on Japan, so I can't reel off cities and town names. Um, but I wouldn't be interested in the city stuff. Wouldn't interest me. I'd want to go to the more quiet rural places. For me, I don't know. All modern cities are kind of like the same thing. They're just different weather. You know what I mean? There's this slightly different vibe, but a city is a city, and I don't jive with cities. I just find them like I have to tolerate us being in a city. It's a tolerating it. It's not enjoying it. I don't feel relaxed. I don't feel happy there. It's just I'm putting up with it, and then happy to leave. That's how I feel about cities. um, yeah. Yes, not many people speaking English. That would be a challenge. Um, I've done all right in all the countries I've been to in the regards that I've been to a lot of places, but a lot of people speak English, so like you survive. I think the place where I found that the least amount of people that spoke English was maybe. Mm, let me think about it. Maybe Peru was a bit more. The locals didn't all, they speak Spanish. It's less English. Second, they don't really have some do, but it was you kind of relying on hand signals and gestures of like things to try and get your point across. But I've been to a lot of places like Egypt. Everywhere I went in Egypt, I managed to get by fine with like basic, they understand enough English to be fine. Uh, all over Southeast Asia, they all speak English relatively well because of how touristy it is. Um, yeah, I think South America was the least amount of English speaking. Even Easter Island, they all spoke English, and that's in the middle of nowhere, which is funny because like that is in the South America kind of region off Chile. Madeira Island is perfect for hiking in nature. Ancient foggy forests. They're called Fanal. Cool. Sounds nice. Hello, Alex. How are you doing? Um, yeah. I don't know what else to talk about. Maybe I should. Oh God, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I guess I should go to bed really because it's quite late. um, okay. Well, I'm going to seal this up. I'm going to wrap it in a plastic wrap. I'm going to let it sit overnight, I think, go to bed, and then I'm going to smell it in the morning. And I might make just some minute adjustments and then bottle it up, and I think it's finished. But that was fun. I enjoyed it. I think it smells really nice. Yeah, I think it's going to enjoy that. I think that's cool. Excellent. Thank you for down fine loving to see this video. Cool. Well, I think I'm going to say goodnight because it is 1 o'clock in the morning and we've kind of finished. Thanks for showing us the process of making a bespoke. Good luck with the new launch and have a good weekend. Thank you. You too. Yes, new launch of a new brand on Monday. I've already filmed the video. It's set on schedule. So Monday afternoon, I will be launching my second brand. There'll be 2 fragrances, and I hope you'll enjoy them. There will be samples available. Lucky Scent are ordering some, but they're not ordering it till after the new year for some reason. They didn't want it for the launch. I had no idea why. They told me to like hold off and delay shipping it until after New Year's, basically. I guess they're just busy and don't want extra work, I guess. So if you're in America and you want to get it from Lucky Scent, you'll have to wait probably another month before they get it because they're not in a hurry to take it on. Curious to see if Rich Mitch will try the samples. I very much doubt it. I don't know what happened to Rich. We used to be good friends. We used to chat all the time on WhatsApp and stuff, and he'd comment on my videos, and then one day he just kind of ignored my WhatsApp message and didn't bother replying, and then I sent him another one saying, "What's up, are you okay?" And then he ignored that, and he just never spoke to me again. That was it. Just doesn't look at my videos, doesn't leave a comment, doesn't bother on WhatsApp, just dead, silent, nothing. He was a friend 1 minute and then just ghosted me the next. I've no idea what happened there, but yes, that's all right. I don't quite know what his problem was, but he didn't let me know why. He just decided not to talk to me anymore. So, a little sad. I made him a bespoke fragrance. It was a tobacco ambery, kind of similar to this in a way. It was a tobacco-y fragrance, an ambery tobacco thing. I guess he didn't wear it anymore because he didn't like me anymore. I don't know what I did wrong, but well, I don't know. People are funny, aren't they? I don't think I did anything wrong or anything. I don't know. Just decided he didn't want to be friends anymore, I guess. But anyway, yes, we'll leave it there. What else to say? Okay, I'm off. Good night, everyone. Thanks for hanging out with me and blending this fragrance together. It was good fun. I hope you'll like it. I'm going to smell it in the morning and just make some adjustments, and we'll leave it there. So, yes. I'll see you on Monday with the new launch of my brand, and I'm going to say goodnight. It is 1 o'clock in the morning, so thanks, everyone. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you on Monday. And if I don't see you, then have a very happy Christmas if you celebrate Christmas. I hope everyone enjoys it, has some nice food. Happy New Year for the new year, if I don't see you before then. Take care of yourselves, and goodbye. Adios.